What up, y'all? It's your boy Lorenzo, aka Big Ranzo.
Hey, what's up? It's your girl Melissa, and we're here with another episode of Esoteric Love.
We been gone for a minute now. We back with the jump off. Yeah, I know it's been a whole month.
Oh,
Happy New Year to y'all. I know this is our first one.
Happy New Year!
Yeah, we did a lot of traveling. Should I tell these people we did traveling?
Yes.
Okay.
We was gone.
Yeah, we was gone, so we had to get our priorities in order. And get back to what we supposed to be doing, which is these podcasts. You know what I mean? 2021 is here. It's upon us. We got a lot of things we want to do moving forward, and we're gonna continue to move forward in this. Ain't the right way?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And
so
before we get started, just want to make sure everybody is having a good 2021.
so far,
Make sure you guys are out there being safe and washing your hands, wearing your mask, all that good stuff. Okay. So I just want to throw that out there before we get started.
exactly.
So this week we're going to be discussing parenting. So parenting is like a lot in one, but it's something that needs to be talked about, and a lot of questions we had in regarding like us having a big family and the way we parent, being from just two different people parenting. So so we want to come and bring it to you guys as we always do.
Fresh off the press.
So pretty much, y'all know we got a lot of kids, right?
Man.
Whole lot of kids. So our dealing with kids goes from 1 year old all the way to dang near 14.
No, 15.
50. Oh,
Yeah, you a grandma. You can't even remember.
They're 14 already?
They been 14. They about to be 15.
Oh my God, that's horrible. Okay, sorry y'all, see. Okay, from 1 all the way to 15.
Ask me
So,
what she have in her cup. Go ahead.
cup?
There's no cup. You're right.
See? So 1 all the way to 15. So we kind of, besides the like child area of parenting, that's the only one we haven't. Well, we have in a sense. We've passed it because they were, our older boys. But right now we're in the 1 to 15. So, with our younger kids, it's it's very different than how it was with our older kids. Because our older kids, it was like we could take them anywhere, do anything, whatever. It was cool. Like we had no stress, no nothing. Like we could go to the movies, sit down, have popcorn, whatever, and they would chill.
Big chillin'.
These kids, we can't let them see the light of day unless they gonna be breaking everybody's stuff. Like it's two completely different kind of kids. So with that, we didn't have to really get on our kids, our older kids, that much. I mean,
not really. They were pretty chill.
They was pretty chill. I mean, there were certain situations where, remember when Michael shaved his head? Like he's like, it was certain
after a fresh haircut though.
Fresh haircut.
Like the haircut happened that day.
Yes, that day he got a haircut, and he decided to find my razor in the bathroom and shave his hair off.
$15 gone down the drain.
So, like, little bad things like that, or, Michael used to dump all the stuff out of the like, hair stuff and dump it on toilet. Like, just regular toddler stuff.
Yeah.
But these kids, oh, my Jesus. These little ones, I don't even know. They are a different breed, I don't even know. So, with that, finding that balance between being the disciplinary, but then still having that bond, or still letting them know we love them, and it's just hard. That's one of my difficult parts of parenting, because like I want them to know, like, don't do this, like you need to, like, this is what you did wrong, don't do it. But they turn around and do it again, like they don't grasp, like.
So you do know that I'm about to cut you off, right?
What?
Because I mean, we talked about what we gonna do when we started the podcast today, and I said that I wouldn't do it, but I got to call you out on some crap. It took me to let my wife know that these kids gonna still do it either way. She tell me, honey, you don't have to yell. Honey, you don't have to always do this and always do that. You can just talk to them. I said, Lex, that mama, which is Malaya London, and Legend are different kids than Michael and Lorraine. We had 2 3-year-olds and we was able to go to Fridays.
Yes.
Like, I'm talking about the food place. They will sit down, eat, chill. Man. Quick story. Off topic. Fun fact. We went to Fridays and we took them all. My wife, she got me. She's like, honey, I think we could do this. I'm like, man, you want to go? You ain't gonna eat, or I'm not gonna eat if we take all these kids to Fridays. Oh my God. She's like, honey, but I think I really want Fridays, and I think they'll be fine. You remember that? Am I telling the truth so far?
He's telling the absolute truth.
Okay, she convinced me, and I would tell you, she got mad at me. So here we go. We get all into Fridays, right? Actually, our older son even brought this up recently. We get to Fridays, we all sitting down. Lex is already turning up. He yelling at the people behind us in the booth, all type of stuff. Standing up, knocking over drinks. The whole ocean of drinks came and fell in my wife's lap. So that we ain't even got no food yet.
This is like, probably 15 minutes in 20
if that. And then they probably bring the fries out, so we give fries to our little girl, Malaya London. She choking on fries. Legend, she gagging, choking on fries. Legend is getting his milk. Next thing you know, we hear blah. We look at him, he's full of milk. He just threw up on himself.
Everywhere.
So our food ain't came yet. So we just spilled drinks, messing with the people behind us. Babies choking on fries, and one threw up. Y'all tell me how that went.
So it's just like, and I know a lot of people are gonna say, "Well, that's just normal stuff." No, but
no.
We, like I said, we had 2 3-year-olds that we could sit. We took them to Benihana's. We took them to the older ones. Yeah. We were able to take them anywhere. These other kids, you can't.
No.
So, like I said, it's just hard to because he's like, no, we can't go nowhere. Let's not go. And I'm like, no, and that's the balance.
You say it nice like that? I need you to tell these people how you really be telling me. You be having mad face.
Yeah, because my thought process is they'll never know how to conduct themselves if they don't ever get to experience it.
And that's why we balance ourselves out.
Yeah, and so that's why we try it sometimes. I have to convince him to try it, but, you know, he always is proven right, pretty much. He's right when we get there,
This is the first time I ever heard you say that I'm right. You ain't never said that. You catch an attitude with me because I don't even say I told you so. I just look at you and you like, I'm not doing that, Lorenzo. Don't look at me all like that. I already know. I see it.
No, I get mad when I want to go do something and then you're like, no, because the kids act like that. And then that's when I get mad. But like I said, he's always proven right. Like, I can't say he's not. But I feel like they have to do it in order to, hold on. Since he like to tell on me, what about the one time you took them to the park and they was acting bad and so
I'm like, oh yeah, get your socks, y'all. Get your shoes. Let's get it, y'all. Woo, park. Yeah, let's just say how many months this been. We've been quarantined for a minute, and even before quarantine,
they ain't been back to that park.
No, they ain't been back. But I did it. I tipped.
He just they play in the backyard.
You know, my wife is a little more outgoing than me when it comes to that. I'm guilty of it. Y'all gonna look at me different. I know you gonna look at me like, man, this dude mean. Keep his kids on. It ain't me. These kids, man. I'm telling y'all, they different.
Oh my God.
They like nothing. Like, they're not like special or nothing. They're regular kids. You know, they just turn up.
They do,
and they smart bad though.
Oh, that's the worst part about my younger ones is that they're so smart that you're like, you know what you're doing.
Exactly.
And that's what makes it so like really like, you know exactly what you're doing. You can come and tell me exactly what you did wrong.
Exactly what you did wrong.
But yet you still do it. But no, it's just I wish, before I had kids that there was a handbook written or of some sort. But I know there was. I mean, there's books, I'm sure, of course, but. Yeah. Like something that told me these things are going to come or they may come. So at least I could be prepared. Like growing up, me and my brothers and sisters, we weren't bad kids like that. Like, not saying my kids bad, but I'm just saying we wasn't no type of bad kid. So
you weren't getting into a lot of stuff and all that.
So I didn't see a lot like, oh, okay, no, that's gonna make me not want to have no kids. Like I didn't have that because we didn't really do nothing. Like we traveled or whatever and played around, just regular stuff, regular kid stuff, So it was nothing that really set out in my mind to say, oh, you might want to think before you have all these kids, But I would never change it for the world, of course.
No.
But on like a more serious note, time has also been a really big thing. Like, and I know that's a lot for a lot of women, probably men too, but just that mommy guilt, that time trying to be, try to have your work and be successful, but still have that bond with your child, still have that time with your child, still make sure that they know they can come and talk to you about anything. Like, especially with us having now older teenagers. That's a hard thing that I think about a lot and that I, try to find ways to figure out and things like that. But it just never seems like it's enough time. It never seems like you're doing enough or able to be there enough. So, one thing I do is encourage you to talk to your kids, let them know that you're always there, whether if they have to text you, if they call you, if you talk in person, whatever it is, to always come and be open with you. I see a lot of things, and me having a dance team, dealing with kids and stuff like that, you get those conversations that they're not able to talk to their parents, or that they're not able to be open enough with their parents. And those kind of conversations are heartbreaking. So hearing that, I try to change, do something about that with my own kids. Cause, they're, like I said, they're gonna be 15. They're getting older. So now you got the girls, the heartbreak, that whole thing that they may or may not go through that you don't want them to go through. Like, I wish I could just take everything and polish it up where they didn't have to go through anything. But of course, that's not realistic. That's not realistic. And even this one over here, I can hear him talking to him about girls, and I'm like, girls,
No, you can be real with them about one of them. One of them is player from the Himalayas. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's Latina.
He like,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. He like the Latina heat. You know what I'm saying? That's what he like. And athletic build. That neck be like a boomerang. It be bouncing everywhere.
Yeah. That was something he's seen him like, looking at the girls and stuff like that. And I'm just like,
could I tell the story real quick?
Yes, you can.
Okay, thank you. Wife. So, we were getting gas. My wife knows about the story. We getting gas. Fun story. Off topic. And I sent him to go get some gas. I said, here, put this on number whatever and come on back. He ain't listening to a word I say. And I'm like, what the heck is he looking at? So I'll turn and look at the direction he's looking at, what I see. Girl like she just coming from volleyball practice or something, and he on it. He on it tough. I said, bro, are you not listening to what I'm saying? Oh, wait, what you say, Dad? I'm like, bro, I got to repeat it all over again. Come on, man. Don't let them know you're looking. God.
So, with that story, let me just real quick. So we in the store walking in the store. I'm getting stuff. He's pushing the basket. He's pushing the basket. So I'm walking. All of a sudden, he done rolled over my whole entire ankle, my whole entire calf and ankle.
That's a black woman right there.
And so I had on sandals, so you already know how that almost fall, like that whole situation happened. So I'm like, Michael, I'm getting ready to go off. So I just happened to turn and look, and yes, there, low old hole, whatever it is, there it goes, is a girl, and he's looking at her. And so I'm like, see, and this is a part of parenting. So instead of going off, because I still was mad because he didn't cut up the back of my leg, but I'm like, I don't want to embarrass him in front of this girl because obviously he thinks she's cute or whatever it was. Even though it burned me up inside, but I had to make that decision at that time to not go off like I wanted to. But it's just those type of things, not knowing how your child will react to heartbreak, not knowing what kind of child, teen they are, because you have the ones that will get hurt and are just completely crushed over it and just will be completely, don't want to do nothing, don't want to be whatever they wanted to be or whatever they were in, sports or academics, whatever they were in, they just lose all desire to do it. So not knowing if they're that kind of child or if they're player, if they think it's cool. Think it's cool to hop around, talk to different girls, and it's just like, I don't know what to teach. Like I want them to know it's okay to be with one woman, but I don't want them to do that too soon. You know what I mean? So it's okay to be with one woman and love them and all that good stuff, because that's eventually what I want them to get to. But I don't want them to do that too soon to where, say it don't work out and their heart is broken. Like
between the rock and the hard place.
Exactly.
You don't know what to, how to really go about it.
Yeah. And that's what I struggle with on a daily. Like, that's just what I struggle with. So even not knowing mentally where they're at is another struggle of mine. Because depression is a big thing, I guess, with with teens, and I don't know if it's more of because me being in the nursing field or just period seeing stuff on TV or social media, whatever it is, just seeing how big mental health and depression is, that just really, really, really scares me in a sense, because I'm like, I'm not in their head. I don't know at what point or what they're thinking. At what point is something too much or pretty much not knowing, period. The land of unknown. That's like what scares me the most about the whole kids the kid, like raising a kid. And like I said, all you can do really is let them know that you're comfortable. I mean, that they're comfortable with coming to you and talking to you. But where's that line between being their friend and being their parent? Where's that line at? Because, I don't know. I struggle with that because you don't want to be too much of, I want you to be able to tell me anything, but I don't want to make you feel like I'm that much of your friend that you can just do whatever, do whatever, talk to me whatever way, that type of situation. But then I don't want to be too strict to where everything is a problem. Everything I tell you is I'm getting on you. We never have a good conversation, is that. Like, I want there to be a balance.
Yeah, no, I like that about you. I like that you have that. I learned that from you actually. Of course, I grew up in a household where you didn't have no opinion. You do what I say, not as I do.
And that's a lot of
and that just, I mean, yeah, it is a lot of households, but I did learn a lot from you with that. I didn't like the fact that I walk past their room and they have like they in the army, like they sit up all straight and like, what's Dad gonna say? I didn't like that. You pointed it out to me what I was doing, and obviously that's the reason why they act that way. Because everything is a problem. Why is his shoes all over this room? Pick these shoes up. But it's always, something. So,
yeah. But that just goes with the way you were raised or whatever. But that's where a lot of struggles also happen in relationships, with trying to find that balance of how to I don't want to say co-parent, but co-parent. I mean, like, parent with both of our ways, because he was taught something, I was taught one way. How do we come together teach them these values and these moral values and these, because he's teaching them how to be a man. I can't teach them how to be a man. That's not something I can do. So therefore, that's like your job. Like, I got to leave that up to you because I don't know which way or what to teach them that. So, but what I do want and what we have came, to common grounds with is finding a way to teach them that, but yet still have that cushion under that love under there, that where they know Dad's just telling me because he cares about me. He wants, they can tell you, they know that I'm going to be a man eventually, and I'm going to need to know these things. They know that because he's said it. He's told them, I care about you, I love you, this is why I'm telling you these type of things. Or he'll even give them scenarios of situations. This is what can happen, so this is why I'm teaching you this. And it's just really trial and error, really. But
yeah, that's
it's sad to say, but it's trial and error. And even with both of our older boys, they both are two different emotional type of people. Like, they're two different people. So it's still what works with one, you have to tweak and try to work with the other. That's just how we have grown to deal with them and even deal with our younger kids, because it's not easy, but it's just, like I said, it's just a daily constant thought, do they know that we're here for them? Do they know we're just telling them this for this? So like I said, as they're getting older and they have been through more situations, they see, okay, this is why, and stuff like that. But also parenting in the sense of, as you guys all know, we both came into our relationship with 3-year-olds. Or what they two? Well, I think there was 3. Yeah. Came into our relationship with 3-year-olds. So the whole parenting when you're dealing with the other parent, so co-parenting with someone. It's safe to say my oldest son's dad is not in his life. Not for anything that I've done, not because I'm that bitter baby mama, nothing like that. It's because that's what he chose. So that whole situation in itself is a headache and is just a headache. So him now being older, of course he asks questions, or he wants to know more things. And though he's seen the person, 2 years ago maybe?
Yeah.
Seen the person 2 years ago, and against my better judgment, I agreed and allowed it to happen, knowing that he was going to disappear. Knowing that he was going to disappear, against my better judgment, I let them connect, because I didn't want to be that bitter baby mama, or, I didn't want to be any of that stereotype, because I'm not that. And so that just opened up a whole nother wound for him, because now he's older. Now he knows what's going on. When he's 1 and 1.5, 2, he don't know what's going on when you're in and out of his life. He doesn't know. So, but now that he's older, he's like, wait, what is going on? So that's a whole nother conversation that before I had kids, I didn't think that I would have to deal with. That I didn't know was a thing that I would have to come across, that I would have to have a conversation about. And now him asking questions, we're both left to figure it out for him, or help him figure it out. And he's my husband kind of went through the same type of situation or scenario in a sense. So he's a good person to go to. He's able to talk to him a lot and tell him, certain things, but it's just still a sucky conversation that I have to have. Yeah. And not knowing how he feels, once again, not knowing, is there something he wants to talk to me about, if there's whatever. So it's just that constant constant thing that you have to deal with as a parent for knowing if they're okay.
It is tough. Like, it's tough. Like, you never know what he's thinking. He can make you think that he's cool, and I'm cool. I'm straight.
Exactly.
But he can be thinking about it all the time. Yeah, could be.
Yeah.
He different than me with that, because you know me. You know. I was like, oh yeah, N-word for sure. You know what I'm saying? But everybody different. Yeah. Different strokes for different folks. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm gonna always be there for him because I can relate.
Yeah.
Even to the junior, we both.
Yeah.
We both juniors. And don't know the seniors.
That's exactly what I love about you and about the situation is that you're able to talk to him and let him know, like, you know, I still came out fine. Mm-hmm. I came out fine despite the situation.
Oh, you heard that? You heard me say that? Oh, shoot, what? That's what I'm talking about.
I didn't hear you say that.
Oh. I thought you heard me say I came out fine.
No.
But I told him.
I did, but I'm saying you did come out fine, so I know that I know you came
hypothetically,
out.
I came out. I got you.
You came out fine, so I know that you would be able to, that you can tell him that you can end up fine.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's just a lot of, it's just parenting is just, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's definitely got to be strong in it, you know, trying to really know that, like I said, I can't just go solely off of the things that I was taught as a child or that I was taught, the things that I was stored into me. Like, because it's two parents, especially when it's two parents in the household, you know, y'all both have something good to bring to it, you know, into parenting. But it's just first between y'all trying to figure out what's the good parts, what's the bad parts, and then taking it to the child or the teen to, you know, to work that thing out. So, and I just, it's just a lot. And before we go, you know, I just go back to when I was a child, you know, dealing with like finances. You don't always want to let your kids know, oh, I don't have it, or I don't have the money for that or whatever. So, you know, as a child, I remember my dad coming to me like, well, not coming to me, but he was just telling the family like, oh, we're going to have Boston markets for Thanksgiving this time. And I'm like, and you know, me being the brat that I am, and I'm like, what? Really?
Oh,
I'm
you
like,
can see my face.
I could see you. I'm like, Boston markets? I was young. I was really young. And I'm like upset and probably kicking over stuff, throwing stuff, crying probably because I wanted my macaroni and cheese and rolls, you know. And I'm doing all that. And then now coming back to as an adult and then telling them, oh, I'm not going to be able to do this. And they're getting upset. That feeling of like, dang, like that is just, it makes me so sad of how my dad could have felt back then, you know, with that. Like how he felt that when I didn't want that, but it was because he didn't have the money to go do a whole Thanksgiving dinner. But that's just another thing with our kids, because of course we spoil them. That's just what we do.
Rotten.
Spoil them rotten, and so they don't know. They don't know, but that's just another part of parenting that we got to figure out and you know, get together.
Well, I got, you know, I know I got to keep it serious. I get it. Now, I'm serious too, but I'm not serious all the time. But another story off topic. It was a Christmas. Now it makes sense because I'm hearing this story right here for the first time, you guys. Wife got them Xbox, got them shoes, Steph Curry's, Jordans, whatever. It was a Christmas that we went ham on. I was looking at the bill like, dang, why we still gonna buy some more stuff? Anyway, but it was expensive gifts though. It was like maybe 5 expensive gifts between the both, each. And they was like, oh, that's it? When I tell you, them flyaways stood up on her head. And she must have. My wife don't yell much. Well, she yells at me. She don't yell at them much. She yells at me all day.
I don't
but you yell at me. But what I'm saying is, she don't get mad. She must have was like, she saw red and she went in on both of them, like with words, something like going off. Now it makes sense. You gonna tell me that's it? For real? You know, now I get it.
Yes, but like even so, even if it was that many things, and you don't know if it's because the person didn't have that much money at that time, and they're kids, so I don't expect them to fully know. But and then, like I said, that's on us too because they are spoiled. But that's just a whole other thing that needs to be worked out with our parenting.
Yes, move it on out. Move it on out.
But yes, I was very upset at that point. I was very livid. Because that was some expensive stuff.
Yeah, and this listen, that wasn't what happened. It was coming out at that point.
You see how
just being clear.
I thought he was gonna go one episode without doing me dirty, but you see, he had to.
I didn't mean to. This is a pretty good episode. What you think?
I think it was a good one.
Yeah, me too. Like I said, this is our first one of 2021. We thank y'all for being here and checking us out. And I'm gonna let my wife let y'all know where y'all can find us at.
All right, so y'all can find us on esotericlove.net. That is our website. You can get to our Instagram and Facebook from there, I think.
Yeah.
And also, our Instagram is esotericlove00, and our Facebook is just esoteric love. So make sure you look out for us. You also can find, if you want to visualize our voices, you can see us. You can see us on YouTube.
Esoteric Love?
Esoteric Love podcast. No, I don't know.
No,
Esoteric Love. So yeah, so
TikTok?
oh, TikTok.
Esoteric Love.
So yeah, go find us, check us out, follow us, share, like all that good stuff.
Are you Apple people? Please rate us.
Yeah.
And leave a comment. It helps us out a lot.
All right.
Until next time, we up out of here. Much love.
All right. Love y'all.